Appeals, I hereby call this meeting to order on this Thursday, September the 14th, 2023. Time is approximately 7 p.m. We have a quorum of members, and at this time I'd like to ask our Director of Community Development, Mr. Brian Simmons, to please call the roll.
Graziano. Jasper.
Here.
Phelps.
Here.
Kretschmer.
Here.
Laughlin.
Here.
Williams.
Here.
Corey.
Here.
Kessler.
Here.
Trying to trick us already tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to rise with us for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Thank you very much, everyone. So I'll start off with the petitioner just to help you understand how we do our meetings here. Mr. Simmons will give us an overview of the application, and then upon conclusion, members of the ZPA may have some questions for Mr. Simmons. Once we close that portion of the meeting, we'll turn it over to yourself if you want to add some additional comments or color to the application that you think is appropriate. And if you do choose to do that, we just humbly ask that when you come to the podium, if you wouldn't mind stating your name and address for the record. If you're unaware, the meeting does get recorded, so those that can't attend can see it in the future. Once we close that portion of the meeting, we'll open it to the public. As you can see beside yourself, there's no one in the audience, but it's required by state law for us to do that. And then we close that portion of the meeting. Members of the ZPA may have some questions for yourself and amongst themselves. And then once we do that, we'll take a vote, and then that vote will get delivered back to our elected officials. That's the process that we'll conduct tonight. And we just have a couple of administrative matters, and then we'll get underway with your application, okay? All right. So, folks, I know in your package you would have received the meeting minutes, so I'll just do what I've been traditionally doing, which is general consent via voice vote. Those in favor of approving the meeting minutes dated August the 10th, 2023, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or nay? All right, thank you very much. And folks, one thing that I would let you know is that I know at least one of you are newer to this process. If you're speaking or asking questions, remember to engage your mics. I was noticing on the last couple of meetings that if you don't hit that green button and it's lit green, they're not going to hear your voice. So if someone's listening to the recording, it's difficult to hear. Okay, now our first case, which is actually Village Case 23 ZPA 08001. As you can see, that case has been continued to October the 12th, 2023. And the reason is there was a problem with the notice. So that's the official reason for that extension. And now I will call Village Case 23 ZPA 08002. This is for Bluestone Single Tenant Properties, LLC. It's the Selke Family Limited Partnership, 134 Northwest Highway. And the parcel is 2018-176-022, and the request is a final plat of subdivision for the East Cary Commercial Subdivision, Phase 2. And with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Simmons.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The request this evening is kind of a continuation of the proposed development of the property. As the board is aware, there's continued commercial development on the property. Specifically, back in beginning in 2019, the village began review of permits for the Thornton's gas station, which was recently completed on the property last year. And then back in 2020, we approved a preliminary PUD for the layout of the subdivision and commercial development, and also a car wash was approved at that time for one of the lots within the proposed subdivision. That car wash has received a few approvals or extensions of their approvals from the village board the last 2 years, so they have another year left on their zoning entitlements, and they intend to develop that here the next 12 months. The property is zoned B2 PUD for the planned development, and you can kind of see some of the history as far as the changes of land use in the property over time. Again, the proposal this evening, and I assume everybody brought their magnifying glasses to read this slide, is to approve a plat of subdivision. The petitioner is proposing to develop a 6-lot subdivision, so 6 commercial lots. One of those lots currently would house the existing Thornton's gas station. and then the future lot as well for the car wash facility. This slide zooms in a little bit further as far as that layout. There will be easements proposed across the property for cross-access and ingress and egress so that all the lots can benefit from shared driveways, utilities, and then stormwater facilities would be located in the rear of the property per the overall master plan for the site. And that would be located in Outlot A on the proposed subdivision. So staff is recommending approval of the proposed plat this evening, and that would require a positive vote from the ZPA this evening, and then final approval from the village board prior to recording with the county. Petitioners here can provide additional information on the project and the plat as proposed, but happy to answer your questions the ZPA may have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Simmons. Ladies or gentlemen, questions for Mr. Simmons? Okay. So I'm unclear if you have any additional comments or color to your application?
Here for questions.
Okay.
Here if you have any questions.
Okay. Let me take the opportunity to ask members of the ZPA if they have any questions for the petitioner. Okay. At this time, I will open up to the public for any questions, and since there's no one here, I will close the public portion of the meeting. And ladies and gentlemen, before I actually call the motion, do you have any additional questions about the application? Alrighty then. The chair will entertain a motion to recommend to the Village Board of Trustees approval of the final plat of subdivision for the East Cary Commercial Subdivision Phase 2.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Mr. Simmons, would you call the roll?
Excuse me. Jasper?
Yes.
Kelps?
Yes.
Kretschmer?
Yes.
O'Laughlin?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Kessler?
Yes.
Corey?
Yes. So you have a favorable recommendation. The way this typically works is that when it gets voted this way, it gets put on something called the consent agenda. However, I would stay in touch with Mr. Simmons. Typically, it doesn't come up in public unless someone wants to pull it off the agenda for whatever the reason and have a discussion about it, but that's typically what happens. But Mr. Simmons will be in a better position than we will to know that moving forward. So we'll wish you continued success, and nice to meet you. Yeah. All right. All right.
It'll be, just for clarification, it'll be the October 3rd village board meeting. October 3rd? Yep.
So, folks, I know this was a short meeting, but before we adjourn, I'm just going to double-check with Mr. Simmons if there's anything else coming down the line.
Just the one case that was continued this evening. Obviously, we had two small cases. We try to get them done in one night, but due to the issue, the notice, that'll be in October, but we don't have another active petition other than that one.
So that should be pretty straightforward as
Correct.
well. All right, so, folks, before I adjourn, I want to see if there's anything on your mind that you wanted to discuss. Nothing? Okay, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Second.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.
You almost got it.
Yeah.